So today is all about making one of the most important switches that you can make when it comes to improving your energy, your focus, your overall well-being. That switch is to switch to grass-fed meat and wild-caught seafood. Why are we doing that? Grass-fed meat and wild-caught seafood are so beneficial because they have so many healthy fats and nutrients and all this great stuff. Now, not all meat and fish are created equal. Most of the stuff that you see in the grocery store is usually factory farmed. That means that there's these big, sometimes it's houses, sometimes it's different cages, depending on how it's set up, and there's just hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of animals lined up in stalls, and they're fed the wrong food on top of that. These animals are supposed to be eating grass, plants, herbs, out in the wild. That's what they would do if they were in nature. But when they're in these houses, these factory farms, they're fed soy, corn, on top of that GMO soy and corn, which is horrible. So the animal ends up eating the wrong way, and then we end up eating the animal, and we end up getting sick because we're eating the wrong thing as well. We're eating a sick animal. So on top of that, you also have to worry about antibiotics, pesticides, different hormones that may be used, and these things are found in conventional meat. This is why it is so important to go organic and to go grass-fed every single chance you can. It would be the absolute best investment that you can take and that you can make in regard to your diet. When it comes to meat, when it comes to animal food, you want to try to get the absolute highest quality possible. So when it comes to meat, you want that meat to be hopefully pasture raised or free roaming, grass fed, organic, grass finished meat. In regard to chicken, it should definitely be cage free, but cage free usually doesn't mean enough. Cage free just means instead of single stalls, these chickens are in a giant shed altogether, just thousands of chickens. So cage-free is not enough. For chicken, you need it to be free-range, organic cage-free chicken, or free-range pastured chicken. Those would all be great. And in regard to fish, wild-caught fish is always going to be best. And keep in mind that some stuff may be wild caught and may be coming from places like China. So you do sort of have to double check the quality because their regulations are a little different than ours. And those foods can still have chemicals and different toxins in them. So wild caught fish. And keep in mind, salmon is at the top of the list, but not, you don't want farm raised salmon. You don't want Atlantic salmon. You want wild caught Alaskan salmon. That's going to be your absolute best fish. Other fish is great too, but keep in mind that fish like tuna, swordfish, those types of fish are very high in mercury as well, so we don't want to go overboard on those. So it's best to have wild-caught salmon or smaller fish like anchovies, mackerel, sardines. Those are all great options. So keep that in mind in regard to wild-caught fish, grass-fed meat. That is the easiest switch you can make. So on top of fasting and doing everything else that we're doing, where the main focus we want to do is start taking your meals, whether it's lunch, dinner, whatever meals those are, and make sure that the meat in those meals is grass-fed, it's organic, it's free-range, or it's wild-caught. It's one of the absolute best switches you can make.